What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the next video in learning C++ object oriented programming. My name is QDS Dani and you guys are watching my channel Croywood. Okay, so in this video we're gonna show you guys how we are passing objects to functions. So how to pass objects to function. Objects can be passed to a function using call by value parameter passing convention. So you guys know already how we're gonna pass parameter passing and how we do call by value or call by reference. So if you guys not sure about the call by value or call by reference, you guys can go and watch my another C++ videos how we're gonna pass by value or pass by reference. And in that video I already explained to you guys how to do parameter passing. Means a copy of the object is passed to the function. So when we say that passing objects to function, you can do it like a normal C++. You can pass it by and then when you guys pass it, it means a copy of the object is passed to the function. Okay, so now in order to save time, I've already created a header file here. So I already put a pass.header. So I'm intending to put the class name pass. And if you can look at here pass, and if you come here and look inside, I have already included the pass.h file, which is this guy here. So I'm going to create a class pass, or you guys can do it in uppercase. I'm going to do it in uppercase to show you guys. Okay, so now I have a class pass, and now I'm going to create some sort of function too, and then I'm going to pass my this class our objects to my function. So I'm going to create say void means void, for example, I'm doing Corayo, for example. Okay, so now I have a function which is going to be void, and I put it as a Corayo. That's my function name, and it's void. Now I'm going to do my public and private. You guys can declare your int. You guys can do int I, for example. You guys can do I, X, Y, Z, whatever you guys want to do, or you guys can put it in your private if you want. But here I'm public. Then I'm gonna have another two methods. Then I'm gonna set my numbers. Then I'm gonna get my number. So I'm gonna put a void. Then I'm gonna put a set number, for example. I'm gonna put my set number. And keep in mind that I have already put it inside the public because I'm gonna only have just assign this one. So this one I'm gonna put a number to make it easy. Num. Our number is already num put, so the number is already inbuilt Python, I think. So I think now I have a number somewhere around here. So what I'm gonna do is the number is here, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a num here. So because I'm gonna have a variable here by the name of num. So here I'm gonna put a int x inside. So I'm gonna put x, y, z. Then what I'm gonna do that I'm gonna pass this x to num. So I'm gonna put a num, which is I have it here, and I'm gonna assign this x in the this function which I set a number. I'm gonna pass it here. All right, so my second function is going to be void, say show num. So I'm going to put a show num. So this is my another void function, and this function is going to put cout, and I'm going to show the number, so whatever the number is. All right, so before that I'm going to come here and I'm going to put another one here. So here I'm going to put my num here because I want to just show my number, and here I'm going to put ndl. All right, so now I have two function here. Keep in mind, if you guys don't put a constructor, the C++ already put a constructor for you guys to initialize it. So now I have a void set number, and I have parameter int x. And keep in mind, this is my public. I don't have because I'm not putting outside. The reason I'm doing that, so you guys know that I'm going to pass it in this function here, which is void Corayo. So now I have two function here, set number and show number here, and that number is got a parameter int x, and I'm going to assign this x to num. And where is our num? Our num is already here. And now I have here show num, and show num is just gonna output the only functionality of this function is just gonna show my function num, whatever the number is gonna be. Okay, now here I'm Corayo. Then I'm gonna put the class name here, so I'm gonna put a pass. So I have put a pass, and I'm gonna name this pass. I'm gonna pass this. I'm gonna name it X in this pass, and now I'm gonna come here, and because I have already passed my object there, so I'm gonna access that. I'm gonna put an X dot, and I'm gonna put the first function. I'm gonna put a show num because I want to show my number first, and the second one is going to be X dot set number. Okay, so my set number, if you guys look here, my set number has got an integer, so you guys can pass any number here. So you guys can pass, say for example 700 in that one. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a X dot show num, for example show number. All right, now I have passed this. Look at here inside this parameter, like a normal one. I have the entire class pass, and I put it here, and I make object say X. Now through this X, I'm accessing all these properties of this one, of the class X. So isn't it amazing? So with just one function here, I have passed everything here, and I have object now here. And through the objects, if you guys remember that we have shown you guys that's dot access. You guys can access the objects, whatever the class properties, whatever it is there, all these methods inside. So I have two functions sitting here inside the public, and these functions here, word Corayo, is I'm going to pass everything here. All right, so we're going to move towards the main. Now we're going to access our object again. So I'm going to put a pass, and this time I'm going to put a, for example, Y. So now I have another object here, Y. Then I'm going to put a Y. Then I'm going to put a Y. I'm going to set number because I want to set number, and what I'm going to set number, I'm going to set say 50. Keep in mind I have put a 50 there. Okay, so now I can bring Corayo here. I can bring the Corayo, and if you look in here, put on Corayo, and inside I have a pass X, but if you look in here, I'm gonna put a Y here. All right, so I put a Y, and now I'm gonna put a Y dot show num. Okay, so it's gonna show my number, and that's it. So now if you guys paying attention here, I have my another object here, Y, and if you guys look in here, set number, I've put a 50, and I have called this one from here, from Corayo, and I have passed this guy here, this object here. So I have passed this one to here, and I'm gonna show my numbers to see if we have any error. We're gonna compile first to see if you have any error. Looks like we have. Okay, so I have a typo here because it's a lowercase. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna run again. So if you guys know, now I've got a 50, which is that second one inside this main. We have a 50, and if you can, I'll show you guys again. I'm gonna bring this one down. So we have here, if you guys remember, now we set a 50 that we saw in our program. We set a 50, and then now we put say Corayo. We are calling this one, and now it's a Corayo. It's got this object inside this one. This Corayo, it's got a class inside, and it's X. So through this X, we are putting this 700 here. Keep in mind, and now we are putting here, but we are putting Y inside here. So if you guys remember, now you know that we are passing this one to here. Now we set this number, and now we can show this number here. But in here, this guy is coming from here. This guy coming from Corayo with the parameter is the parameter inside this object, and here we have 700. Because how we got this 700? Because we have X here, and through this X we access this set number, this guy here, and we are passing this 700, which is by call by value. Because we are not doing call by reference, because we're doing directly call by value. So this guy here is gonna show a number which is gonna be 700. And here is going to affect only the local copy of the object. And here, if you guys look here, we are trying to put this guy here, inject this guy inside here. All this function which was got with the object, we can put it here. And if you guys look in here, we are still going to show 50. So the value of the y, which is this guy, is going to be unchanged. So we'll go again and see. I'm going to run. All right, so if you look in here, this guy here is when we have our object y, and then we put y and access the set of the number, and now we have a set number, the template's there. Now we pass 50 here, and now if you look in here, that's a 50 here. And where is this 700 coming from? 700 coming from the function Corayo, if you remember in our pass, is coming from there. And now you're gonna again it's 50. So you guys look in here, we are again, because this one didn't change anything from here, from this object of the function method, whatever we had on the pass. We didn't change anything, and now we are showing the number, and our show number still shows 50. So that's how you guys pass objects to functions. So object can be passed to a function using call by value. So this is the call by value. And still, if you guys not sure, if you guys confused about this, you guys should go and watch my another videos, how we're going to call pass by value and pass by reference. And if you guys look in here, we are passing here, we have our function, and we have our class name. We put our class name, we make object here, and this is our first one here inside the class pass. We are putting here the show the number, show num, and here we are putting this one here, we are changing this one to 50. That's the second object. And here, if you look in here in the side, this Corayo here, we have object here inside here. We have object, and this object here, and we have passing. We are passing this object here inside this one as well. Look in here, we have we can pass this one here, and now it's looking here that. And we're going to show the number 50, and we're going to show this one, the number is 700, and then we're going to show this number y, the object y. So the value, if you look in here, the value of our this one is unchanged. If you look in here, this value is unchanged here. So if it looks 50, it should show some other numbers, but because it's not showing, and we're going to run again. So if you look in here, we have assigned 50, and this is still showing of 50. And here we are this coming the 700 coming from our function, which is Corayo. So that's what our function is, and that function has got an object inside. And that 700, because that's coming from that function, here we are passing this object to this one, and looking here, we are passing by value. This is called pass by value, because we are passing a value. We are not passing by reference. We are not pointing to anything else. We are not doing anything else. We are just passing straight by value. Whatever the value here is, we got passing here to this function here. And now you look in here, we are passed by value, our value, and everything is fine. We didn't get any error. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.